I actually have to pull over for this music. I don't like it that it happens every time I drive, but I guess it's the rumbling of the vehicle and the automatic subconscious driving that just puts the mind in a state of meditation. Anyways, I have to capture this music right now before it flits away. Aaron Tomlinson, you have done it again with your video this morning, Sunday morning. Left-hand path, right-hand path. And I'm not speaking from anything I have read on the subject. I am strictly speaking from the feeling in my soul, from the memory of my feelings when I was a Christian and when I shifted into this left-hand path. I think, and this is, I connect everything to the subconscious trauma, because everything is driven, every conscious choice is driven by the unconscious trauma. And I think that while we are unconscious of our trauma, the dissociation from self that life, that growing up has fostered in us. For a person that is not conscious of their trauma and hasn't done the shadow work, the trauma work of reconciling back to your organic nature instead of the imposed conformist nature that society has imposed and imprinted on us. When we are unaware of the trauma, we're more than likely going to choose the right-hand path of assimilation into the one big source. And this, from my feeling, from my intuition, is driven from the want of escaping this human experience, from escaping the harshness of this individual that is me as a human. When my human life has been difficult and hard, and I am still operating from this unconscious trauma, I live in a constant state of wanting to escape this reality. And our mind always seeks out the information that will help us cope with this discomfort. And the idea to go back to heaven, to go back to Father God, to go back and be assimilated into the bosom of God is comforting, because it signals an end to this torturous journey. So the mind seeks out that path of spirituality to self-soothe the subconscious, under the surface emotional pain. We comfort ourselves with that one day we're just going to melt back into source, and the painful memories of this individuated human self is going to be dissolved. It's a subconscious running away from life. Okay, the left-hand path is going to be embraced by people who are doing the shadow work, who have become aware of their subconscious self, the shadows, the trauma, and they are in the process of healing that. As we heal the subconscious programming, the subconscious wounds, we reconnect to our individual humanity. We reconnect to our individuated self. And in doing so, in dissolving the programmed self, and regaining more of our organic, individuated, autonomous self, the spark of life returns. We want to take the bull by the horns. We want to make the best of this individuated experience in full gusto. Trauma healing will shift us into embracing this experience, not running away from it. So my point is, whether we choose the right-hand path or the left-hand path is dictated by the unconscious trauma. Neither one is right. The point is that everything is trauma-driven. There is no one outside of you directing your path, your choices. Your subconscious trauma directs your choices unconsciously, right? So I hope this makes sense. There is no right spiritual path. The true spiritual path is the path of returning back to yourself, your autonomous self. That's the spiritual path. But most of the world embraces the right-hand path of escaping, of being assimilated back into the God pool, because at a subconscious level they're tired of this life, they're exhausted, and they want this to end. But that is a trauma response. It's not more spiritual. You're just running away from the present reality because the wounds are too heavy, too strong, too painful. I hope this makes sense. I always like to see things from this subconscious, from the soul realm, because the soul drives what the mind chooses, right? So I hope this helps. Have a wonderful day, and I will be on my way here in the truck.